Barak Atah Yahweh, Barak Atah Yahweh Shai, Barak Atah Yahweh, Barak Atah Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honor to the apostles, the elders, salutations to you sincere brothers, teaching in truth and in sincerity. This lesson is going to be entitled, We Are the Hebrew Israelites. Okay? In this lesson, Lord willing, through the Spirit, you're going to see that the Israelites will be various shades of brown, and also we're going to look like these other nations. All right? That's what this lesson is going to be going into, and Lord willing, it be edifying. All right? Now what you see on the screen is a so-called white man. However, his lineage goes back to the tribe of Benjamin. Okay? What you see on the screen is another so-called white man, and his lineage goes back to one of the 12 tribes of Israel. And what you see on this page is a host of Northern Kingdom, Akim, okay? And their lineage goes back to the 12 tribes of Israel, all right? Now, riddle me this. If we have examples such as this, and this, then how in the fuck do we receive the label of the black Hebrew Israelites? All right? This is spun by the elites via their puppets, and what they're trying to do is promote slander and lies. All right. First scripture, Deuteronomy 28 and 25. The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shalt be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. Okay, keep that in mind. Deuteronomy 28 and 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And that's the point. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Daniel 9 and 7. O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of faces. Which brings me to the point, Deuteronomy 28 and 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other. Hence, confusion of faces, which also brings me to the initial point, Deuteronomy 28 and 25. And shalt be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. Hence, confusion of faces, as at this day, example 1 and example 2, to the men of Judah, so-called Negroes, and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, which would be the so-called Haitians and the so-called Jamaicans, and unto all Israel, from the so-called Puerto Ricans all the way down to the so-called Mexicans that are near and that are far off, through all the countries, whether thou hast driven them. Okay, so we broke the laws, statutes, and the commandments, all right? And due to this, we went through a process of slavery, all right? And through that process, we became scattered throughout the 4 corners of the earth. We began to sleep with these other women, all right, of these nations, and we had seed by these women, okay? So due to this procreation with these women of these other nations, this was the result, confusion of faces, because of their trespass that they have trespassed against thee. Now what is this trespass referring to? Deuteronomy 28 and 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. These curses consist of being removed into all the kingdoms of the earth, as well as being scattered among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other. Due to the process of slavery, we procreated with the women of these other nations, and we have this prophecy fulfilled of confusion of faces. All right. So with these 4 scriptures alone, how in the fuck do we receive the label of the black Hebrew Israelites? All right. So due to this prophecy, confusion of faces, it guarantees you that all the 12 tribes is not going to look like this brother, okay? Nor this brother, you know? We're various shades, as well as we look like the other nations, okay? Point blank simple. Now, another example, because Yahweh by Shem Yahushua is balanced. This is Matthew 13:24. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. Now, you have an example of this during slavery, all right? For example, you would have Israelite woman that was raped by Edomite man, which would be the enemy, okay? If he raped this woman and put his seed in this woman, all right, and this woman had his baby, then that baby will be classified as a tare, all right? Now, if you know anything about tares and wheat, tares look just like wheat. You have to go within the spirit, all right, among the wheat, which are Israelites, and went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the household came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then hath it tares? He said unto them, An enemy have done this. The servant said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Right, because it takes spiritual discernment to actually classify who is who. So Yahweh and Yahushua are 100% exact when it comes to deciphering who's the tares, who's the wheat. Right now, what we're doing is we go by the Spirit. So, verse 29, but he said, Nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Verse 30, let both grow together until the harvest. The harvest is the end of the world. And in the time of the harvest, I will say to the reapers, which are the angels, gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. All right, and I presented this through the Spirit just to show you that, hey, all Israelites are not going to look like this brother right here. Okay, all right, so this is another scripture that shows you you can't judge a book by its cover. And also it goes to show you that there's going to be variety as well. This is Revelation 5:7, and he came. This is Yahushua, and took the book out of the right hand. Now that book is the scriptures of him that sat upon the throne. Who is he that sat upon the throne? This is Yahweh. And when he had taken the book, the 4 beasts and 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, having every one of them harps and golden vials full of odors, which are the prayers of the saints. And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof, for thou wast slain and hast redeemed us to the Most High by the blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation. Okay, the reason why the elect is going to be redeemed out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation is because we were scattered throughout the 4 corners of the earth. Okay, and these are Israelites. And just to add on to that, basically, if we're coming out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation, that goes to show you that we're going to look like these other nations as well. Okay? Hence the term confusion of faces. Which brings me to another point. Tobit 13:3. Confess him before the Gentiles. All right, and these are the natural Gentiles, these heathens, ye children of Israel, for he hath scattered us among them. So if we've been scattered amongst the Gentiles, then we're going to look like the Gentiles. All right, and this is Jeremiah 12:9. Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. Now, when you go into the Hebrew word for speckled, it's a term utilizing a definition, and it's called variegated, which means diverse colors. Bird. The birds round about are against her. These are these other nations. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour. This entire nation, okay, has been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, and therefore they're going to look like these other nations. That's why you can't label us the black Hebrew Israelites, because we're going to look like the other nations. Okay? All right? And also, just to go back to that point, Yahushua stated, Matthew 13:30, let both grow together until the harvest, and in the time of the harvest I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. This would be Acts 15 and 18. And it states, known unto the Most High are all his works from the beginning of the world. So no matter where we at, okay, kindred, nation, it doesn't matter. Yahweh B'Shem Al-Shai knows who are the Israelites, and he knows the nations that are not the Israelites. Revelation 7:9, after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations, which are Israelites, and kindreds, which are Israelites, and people and tongues, which are Israelites, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. Okay? Where if our nation was scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, then therefore we're going to look like these other nations. Okay? So what Esau is trying to do is promote slander and propaganda, but through the spirit, we know better. Hope this lesson was edifying. Hey, Shalom.